Man, I am so late to this video that it's Monday, technically. It's also in the middle of the night. I have already busted a nut, so I am very tired as well, so don't mind my grogginess. Although, I could probably do with a little bit more calm videos because, you know, too much energy can be a little bit upsetting. So, yeah. Hello, malicious delicious people. Welcome to another video. Today we're going to be using a big scythe. And it's the original one, so yeah. It is definitely not the best weapon. In fact, believe it or not, I believe the Prova Vandal actually does a lot more damage. However, it is still very fun. So what we're going to be doing with the Hespar is we're going to be basically building a little bit of a influence build as always. However, we're going to be doing it a little bit differently where we're going to be using condition overload just to see how it goes. We'll also be using opportunities reach, so yeah. But let me tear this apart and see if I can show you my train of thought. So we're going to be using Volcanic Edge. We're going to be using Voltic Strike. We're going to be Toxin with Verdant Scourge in order to get gas and electricity. The stance today is going to be the only stance for these weapons, which is Gale Force Dawn. We'll be using Galvanized Steel, Galvanized Elementalist for crit and status, as well as status damage. And we're going to be using the Editor Vice for more speed. Also, once again, thank you to that one viewer for letting me know that this is a thing. We're using Condition Overload for more damage since we will be using, I believe, 7 statuses, which will give us about 3, maybe 4 prime pressure points worth of damage, I believe. I do believe it's actually 3.5, so yeah. We're using Prime Reach for more reach, which is very nice. And we're using Opportunities Reach for even more reach, because you should see this thing's heavy attack, and I'll show you that in a little bit. But first we're going to be explaining that Influence is also going to be another thing we're going to be using. Keep in mind, the way Influence works is that with electricity procs, you gain the ability to spread statuses, but what it does is it takes the statuses total, combines it together, and throws it out to the other enemies, allowing you to essentially cash in a bunch of electricity procs and gas procs and just spread them, which is very nice. So yeah, let's take this into the Simulacrum and I'll show you what it do. So first things first, we're gonna be using not the Eximus, heavy, these ones, the regular ones. And I'm specifically going to show you why we're going to be using a little bit of a trick to do more damage. It's simply due to the fact that, as you can see, because of their damage reduction, the damage just isn't very good. We did a heavy attack which did pretty well, and then we did another one, there we go. That's also the heavy attack. Keep in mind, I believe it hits 6 times? I think it was 6 times, yes. However, we're going to be using this trick right here. We're going to be using a Dirgia. Keep in mind you can use any means to proc this as you want. We're going to be using this loadout specifically. We're going to be using Piss Pestilence and Frostbite for viral, and specifically the most important mod here is Scorch. We're also going to be using Accelerate Isotope for more CC, and Creeping Bullseye just to get one of these mods triggered, which would be Tenacious Bond. Manifold Bond, Tenacious Bond, we need these. However, you can go without Tenacious Bond. We just needed Manifold Bond and Arc Coil. We'll be using Vacuum for getting everything, so we don't have to chase it down. And some survivability mods for both us and the drone. And I want to show you the difference in power, so that you can see why I'm using this drone, right? As you can see, because they're partially armor stripped, we are doing amazing damage. Keep in mind, the more combo you have, the more damage you do, which is very nice. But that will not get you as far as you would like, unfortunately. So yeah, we're doing this. There is also an alternative build for this. Let me show you. So what you could do is you could also take off Vice if you are okay with only having a singular, and then you can also take singular amount of swing speed. There you go, attack speed. Sorry, I had to read that. And you can also go Blood Rush for more crit. Keep in mind, with this amount of crit, I believe you will only get to orange, I believe. But as you can see, if you were to use this, it is very nice with the damage. There we go. Speed definitely helps, but with this weapon, it does swing very quickly. So, yeah. Especially with the stance, I believe the stance makes it slightly faster when you're running. So, as you can see, we do reach 5 multiplier by the time we're done with these people, but if we were to reach 12, we definitely would be able to reach orange crits, which I have done before. But we're going to be going with this build. Oops, sorry. This build. Because I do like myself some attack speed. Where did it go? There we go. I do like myself some attack speed, since orange crits are fine, but I would like to hit more often. So, yeah. Alright. I am going to take you to demonstrate this against an Acolyte and a real mission. Alright. Alright, so we are going to Annie because, believe it or not, I actually don't trust this weapon with mods because of Vor specifically. If you had somebody to handle Vor or a way to kill Vor yourself, that'd be great for you to do. However, keep in mind, because there are butchers and shielded opponents, you actually do a lot more damage than you would against like fully leveled targets because of the amount of damage you do to these guys. Woo! Check that out. See? Realistically speaking, you are going to be fighting a bunch of targets. Ooh, nice. I found the ballroom. So, don't fret if your build doesn't work against the Simulacrum, because the Simulacrum isn't necessarily realistic. So, yeah, remember, Simulacrum is fine for testing mechanics, but if you want to bring a weapon out and actually test it, you gotta go against these guys. So, yeah. I'll see you at the Acolyte.
Life support incoming.
Life support incoming! I see it, I see it. Oh, there he is! Woo! Oh, I wanted to slip in a bit of a fact. I do adult animations, and I recently got a request for feet pics, so... Sorry, not feet pics. A feet animation, so... Let me just kick this guy in the dick, so... Oh my god. Why do I have a corrosive proc? Why do I have a corrosive proc? Why do I have a heat proc? Hold on. I should not be having a corrosive proc. What is happening? Did I get a radiation proc? Hey, get the fuck over here. Come here. Come here. Come here. There we go. I just wanted to see what would happen if I hit her directly, but I will very much admit that,
the raid is off to a
yeah, I think the Pro Vandal is actually legitimately better. That is unfortunate, however, this isn't about power, it's more about fun, and look how fun this is. Whee! Spinny, spinny, spinny! Alright, I'll meet you out in the meet you in the outro. Oh my god, imagine making a Yareli foot job for an adult site because your friend asked you to. Oh my god. I hope I do a good job at that. He likes feet. Alright, third takes the charm. Third, I'm keeping that in there. Third take is the charm. So, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be showing you the Hespar build. We're using Condition Overload for more damage per status type. Keep in mind we're going to be priming with a drone, which will allow us to get up to 3 prime pressure points worth of damage. 3.5? I think it's 3.5. We're using Gladiator Vice for more crit chance, up to 120%. With full combo multiplier, we're using Galvanized Steel for more crit chance and crit damage per kill. We're using Galvanized Elementalist for status damage as well as status chance for kill. We're using Primed Reach, which is going to give us more reach. Keep in mind, you could also go with the regular reach if you don't have this. And if you want to go with a non-ramp up build, you can also go with Prime Pressure Point or regular Pressure Point for over Condition Overload. It's completely up to you. We're going to be using Virulent Scourge, Volcanic Edge, and Voltaic Strike for gas and electric. And electricity is going to be giving us influence procs. And these are also 60/60s, meaning we'll get lots of status. We'll also be using Gale Force Dawn, which this is what we're going to be focusing on, even though it has only 100 multiplier, due to the fact that it does do a lot of damage if you hit a lot, because it hits very quickly. But you could also use Storm Reaper, however, it is very slow, so it's not entirely worth it. Titan Coal will be our heavy attack, which can also go to a 600% multiplier if you use the second attack. Keep in mind, during the demonstration, I accidentally did not put Opportunities Reach, which is why the build looks like this. But you could put Opportunities Reach in order to fill a slot. Although, if you don't want to fill the slot and you just want to go with the light attack build, you could definitely do that, and you could go with one less Forma, I believe. Don't quote me on that. However, actually, let me check this. Oh yeah, you could go with one less Forma. It'll literally just be like, it literally just will be, exactly 0. So you could go here with single Forma if you want. Keep in mind, you do not need to use Influence. You could also use Animosity, Exposure, Influence, Retaliation. All these things is good options. But yeah, I want to show you my primer next, before I forget this time. It's going to be Frostbite, Pistol Pestilence, Scorch, Accelerated Isotope, Creeping Bullseye on a Burst Laser Prime. And we're going to go over here to Dergeo to show you Manifold Bond, Tenacious Bond, Arc Coil, Vacuum, and everything else is optional. So, yeah. Those two were the builds, and yeah. Have wonderful, wonderful nightmares. I will see you in them. And remember, if you're watching my content, I know you're into it. Honey, honey. Good night.